Greetings, YouTube. I have this at the wrong setting, so let me fix that. There we go. The cat stepped on my keyboard, screwed up my video settings. Um, I'm sure that all of us who have ever been a GM have misjudged an encounter. You've thrown a little bit too much or maybe a little bit too little at your players. They had a cakewalk when it should have been stiff resistance. Or they got themselves slammed and you almost had a TPK on your hands, total party kill, uh, because you thought that they could handle something that they couldn't. Now, if it's the former, they have a cakewalk, that's easy to fix. The next encounter, you just ramp it up. You shrug it off to experience. Yeah, it didn't go the way you want to, but who cares? You keep moving on. It's like if you need the players to get to business A and they go to town where business B is, you just put business A into town, the next town, instead of business B. You will get them where you want them to go, whether they want to or not. We can do that. But if you misjudge it in the other direction, you think, hey, these guys can handle this without a problem. And they can't. You do have a problem. I've done that. Two things that come off the top of my head is that this particular scene, I thought to myself, it would be really cool if the player characters were hit by a fireball right here from this section, the area over here, and then they had the encounter as they had to fight their way towards the mage. I just had this visualization in my head. That would be cool. I was correct. It kind of was cool. It was rather cinematic. I forgot that a mage that can cast a fireball was like 3 friggin' levels higher than the highest level character in the party. And he had minions. Or she, I don't remember the gender of the spellcaster. Now, I could have tweaked that by just had the person using a scroll and have them be the same level as the player characters. So they had this thing saved for essentially a rocket launcher in their pocket, and they decided now is the time I want to use my rocket launcher. So it would have still been a big explosion. It still would have knocked the player down to a lower health level, but they would have been facing an encounter of someone at the same level whose minions would be more appropriate to the situation at hand. But I just screwed up. And in fact, I think we were almost done with the encounter, and my buddy looked at me and goes like, "What were you thinking?" Yeah. The other time I can think of, like, this is again off the top of my head, I attacked the home of the player characters. They had their own house, servants, nice little place, 2 gnomes if I remember correctly, and I attacked it with ghouls. The problem is that I didn't think about this. They weren't well suited for going after ghouls, and I hit them in the night when they were asleep. So they pulled back to a room, locked themselves in, had the resources of the person whose room they were in, plus what they could grab on the way out, but none of them had armor on. And I think the room they retreated to was like the sorcerer's bedroom, which doesn't have armor in it. He's a sorcerer and a halfling, and no one else in the group was a halfling, so wouldn't have done him much good anyway. And I believe I'm like, okay, wow, I misjudged this. So I had the ghouls going after the door, and I kind of played them almost like Romero zombies. They were more than the zombies because they're ghouls, but I played them as less intelligent maybe as ghouls could be played, because ghouls can be fairly bright. But I had them played lower level than that because I figured, okay, I got to do something. So to save this, because I've screwed the pooch on this one. So they're like clawing their way through the door. So there was a gradual degradation of the door over time while they were desperately waiting for the cleric, who they had been knocked unconscious, could be brought back and they could try another turn attempt or something, because that was their only real ace in the hole, was that cleric who had gotten nailed and hadn't done well because of the ghoul's paralysis of power. Obviously, I'm talking about D&D/Pathfinder. So that didn't go well. I think eventually they sent someone out the window, it's a second story window, down the wall and around to distract them and to draw them away so the other people could get out, get to their gear, and then have the enemy divided. I think that's what they did. And they were eventually able to take down the ghouls at hand and win the day. But yeah, I didn't judge it well. I should have. Again, I was going for a cinematic look, and apparently when I do that kind of thing, I don't often seem to check the numbers well. Something I should do. So let's talk about encounters that we've not handled well, whether it was too easy or it was too harsh. Um, because I think it's an interesting topic, and we can learn from the mistakes of others. For hopefully, we won't make them ourselves. So yeah, look at the numbers. Maybe if you got your mindset on a really cinematic thing going on, make sure the cinematic thing isn't going to be an encounter that's going to toast your entire party. That's bad. I mean, if you're going to toast your entire party, at least make it meaningful, not just some random maids they counter in the forest, or well, semi-random. It's part of the adventure, but or you know, a hit squad of ghouls sent out to kill them, which they should have taken out faster. But I forgot about the whole paralysis thing, and the funny thing is that the dwarf cleric in question was like a cleric of luck with like feats aimed at luck. Still rolled poor, I guess. Percentage chance to fail is still a percentage chance to fail. So let's talk about encounters, folks.